Hey friends, it's Pastor Brett here. How's everybody doing? I know some of you are on spring break this week, although I have a feeling that it didn't really feel like spring break for you. I know some of you started working from home this week because your offices were closed. Or maybe some of you are going to be starting school next week at home for the first time. It's really an unfamiliar world that we're living in right now, isn't it? And it's got us a little on edge. And that's certainly true of our economy, which is pretty much at a standstill right now because of the coronavirus. In light of that, of course, the government's seeking to try to stimulate the economy. They want to try to grow it so that people don't lose their jobs or their homes or their retirements. It got me thinking, though, did you know that God has an economy as well? Of course, it's a spiritual one. It's not a physical one, but it does operate similarly. You see, the goal of any economy is the flourishing of its citizenry, to cause them to prosper. And in God's economy, his aim is to grow and mature us and our faith in him. So how does God cause you and I to flourish and prosper? Well, it's not the way that we might think. The way God grows and prospers us is through trial. The way he stimulates our faith is through suffering. We'd like to think that that's part of the fine print of Christianity that we don't often read about. But Jesus and his apostles do write a lot about that in the New Testament. James, in fact, the brother of Jesus, was one of God's, you might say, top spiritual economists. And he reveals to us God's spiritual stimulus plan in James 1, 2, and 3. He says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." Now, it's tempting to think that the trials we experience are meant to break us down or to pull us apart at the seams. That's certainly what trials seem to do in our physical economy, but not so in God's economy. In his economy, trials are what build our faith. They are what unite us to God. Well, how so? Well, the testing of our faith is like gold that's being purified. As the gold is tried by fire, the impurities rise to the surface and they're swept away, leaving purified gold. James tells us that God stimulates our faith in him through these trials. These trials have a way of revealing the object of our faith. You see, there's this ever-present temptation to put our faith in what we can see. We are tempted to put our faith in the stock market or in our work or in our health. But when a trial like the coronavirus comes and takes those things away, we are left reeling. We are shaken to the core. That trial begins to feel like a death, and in some ways it is. It is a death of what you hold dear. James says that it is the very thing that God wants to reveal in our life, so that perfect and complete faith in him can flourish, so that we can have a steadfast faith in him. What does a steadfast faith look like? It's one that has staying power. That's what steadfastness means, actually, in the Greek. It has staying power, the kind of faith in God that won't go anywhere. It won't diminish when the next trial or the next hardship comes. That's the kind of faith God wants us to have in him. Thankfully, he is far more committed to me experiencing that kind of faith in him than I am in pursuing it. And I do pray that you and I will regard this difficult season in our life joyfully, knowing that God intends to stimulate our faith, to grow it in him. God bless you.